How you doing?
Oops.
Woo!
Sorry.
There's got to be like a big woo. Come on. How you doing? I need my flip cam too. I gotta get my flip cam out. This next speaker is Mike Flynn. I've known Mike for a while. He and someone else I know, Karen Solomon, they both run, and a few other people run a great, amazing yearly conference called Opportunity Green. It is the conference to understand and just learn about the technologies out there that are helping us live more sustainably, actually be part of the solution instead of part of the problem. And it's pretty amazing stuff. And so it is my pleasure to introduce Mike Flynn.
Okay, so this talk is about how to make less more. So I'm going to begin with a little anecdote. In spite of Spain increasing their wind production by 8,000% over the last decade, they actually became 3 times more fossil fuel dependent. So what's the deal with that? That's the deal with that. If you look on the top, there's a good area. It's called renewable energy. Look on the bottom, it's the massive increase in the amount of energy we use overall, and that's being supplied by non-renewable energies. So the issue is that we use too much stuff. And there's an interesting, on the bottom there, we almost use 500,000 cell phones a day that we retire, and if you multiply that by an entire year, you find that on average, everyone replaces their cell phone after 2 years or so. So the new after 2 marketing really works. So this is about making less more. How can we redefine our lives, redefine our culture, redefine our businesses so that we're selling less atoms and less electrons, and we're getting more creativity, happiness, fulfillment, and satisfaction? So I personally don't like being bound by the fact that as an entrepreneur, typically there's pressure to make more stuff, to get people to consume more. So I'm interested in how can you change the model from ownership to experience. And if me talking about it isn't making it important enough, Bill Gates is talking about it. He's the richest guy in the world, and he knows that the standard of living is going up, which means that people use more stuff, and that stuff takes energy. So we've got to combat that. And ultimately, I don't like the fact that if I discard my cell phone, it probably ends up in China for someone to deal with at a landfill. So there's a direct impact. And we can really make a difference by shifting our cultural values and our norms. So let's take a look at what does it actually take to make a business model where less is more. Cost, availability, and desirability. Okay, so there's different elements to that. And you have to look for the trends. You have to look for where can new technology, new education, new culture shifts, new rate subsidies. The government can help here. Obama can help. Where are those making a difference? And you have to remember that business is like an amoeba. It's only asking one question every day. Is there enough people who will pay for our product? And if so, it will go and seek out that profit. So the issue is that our business models are typically fundamentally wacky. And so is our culture too. It's based on getting a lot of stuff. And it's not that they're bad, it's just that it's not very workable for the other 2 billion people, the poorest people, who can't move if the environment turns less than desirable. So let's take a look at one business model, which is utilities. They're paid based on how much energy is actually produced, but they should be paid based on fulfilling our energy needs, because then they could spend more money on education and marketing for that. Here's another example, Zipcar. It took advantage of the trend that people don't want to pay for their cars anymore, and there's too much congestion. And it incentivizes people to use their cars less. Now, I included that blurb there because it was complicated, but technology helped make it work. Here's another. Saul Griffith, great guy, heirloom culture. Can we just buy things that won't break, or that last a lifetime? How many things in our life can work 50 years or more? And if you can't afford luxury, then you can rent luxury. Define yourself differently. Instead of saying, I sell cars, we sell mobility. That might have solved a lot of our problems with the big 3. The Aspen Skiing Company, because snow might not be around so much anymore over there, redefined itself as renewing the human spirit. There you go. And when you do need a product, think about how can you make that product take less energy This eco cradle uses 1/10 of the carbon dioxide, and it's made by mycelium, which is what springs mushrooms up out of the ground. Here's all the opportunities out there. Let's take toys, for example. Remember Legos, how simple they were, but how creative you could be? I love Legos. And they last forever. And it's a culture shift. We don't necessarily always want to buy something that's going to use a ton of gas, but marketing causes us to want that in some cases. And it's the same thing with a Prius or a bike. We can fundamentally shift the world through marketing and education and creativity. And don't be at the effect of how things are. Ask, how can you make it work? And that's the opportunity. Simple. So make less equal more. Check out betterbusinessmodels.com. If you are inspired by this and you come up with any ideas, submit them, we'll put them online. And even better, start a business or shift an existing business so that this works and so that we can live sustainably and have more fun. Thanks.